The size of your house is measured in square feet, and the bigger the size, the more time and money it will take to build. The same principle applies to software development projects. Not only do time, effort, staff, cost, quality, and productivity increase with size, they increase exponentially. So, what is the best unit for quantifying software size? You're probably using one or more of these familiar units. Which are best for you? Welcome back to Software Size Matters. Why quantifying software size is critical for project estimating, tracking, and performance benchmarking. Hi, my name is Laura Zuber, Training and Support Manager for Quantitative Software Management, QSM. In previous videos, we discussed why quantifying software size is so important, what software size is and is not, and different sizing methods you can use. You can find links to these videos in the description below and in the playlist if you missed them. In this episode, we take a closer look at sizing function units and capturing complexity. In episode 3, we said the sizing method you choose is largely determined by where you are in the development lifecycle because that dictates the amount of data available. When choosing a function unit, a good question to ask is, what type of work will you be performing? Development methods, application types, technologies, and platforms also dictate the data available. Here are some common examples. Agile, familiar function units here of capabilities, features, epics, stories, and story points. Waterfall development can use a wide range of function units, but we typically see requirements, function points, use cases, and the like. Cloud migration can use multiple function units, and that will depend on the nature of the work being done. Is it a lift or shift? Are we refactoring or repurchasing? Configuring COTS packages or SaaS systems, we see business process configurations, the familiar RICEF objects that stands for reports, interfaces, conversions, extensions, forms, and sometimes W for workflows. And then in maintenance and enhancement work, change requests are pretty common, along with line of code counts and some sort of bug fix. These are not rules or standards. You may be configuring a package using agile methods, so you have options. We find that using business processes and RICEF objects is more intuitive for users and business personnel, thus facilitating communication. It may be the better choice if you're new to agile. Once you've identified the data you have and chosen a sizing method, it's time to get some thought about the amount of work required to build the average function unit. These function units are not equal in the amount of work or elementary programming or configuration steps required. Clearly, a project that delivers 500 function points requires less work than one that delivers 500 epics, and thus less time and effort. In earlier videos, we showed that we need to convert the function unit to a common baseline, called the base size unit, to make meaningful project performance comparisons and to use multiple size units when estimating the total system size. The gearing factor is the number of elementary programming steps required to implement an average function point. In this example, an average story takes 100 steps, converting the 250-story project to 25,000 implementation units or source line code equivalents. Thanks to Agile software development methods, this is not an entirely new concept. Teams estimate the size of user stories by assigning story points. You can take data from Jira or other apps to trace the stories back to features and epics to compute gearing factors for those relationships. This makes early software estimating easier. You will be able to identify epics long before you have detailed data on stories or story points. Slim applications use this type of data so you can estimate using t-shirt sizing expressed in your chosen function unit. Although it is common to let teams determine story point ranges, the best practice is to standardize software metrics across your organization or enterprise. Taking a little time to compute gearing factors from your completed project data will be well worth it. As this example shows, you can look at the relative size of known user stories, measured in story points, and define size bends for epics. Here we have a small epic is from 50 to 100 story points, and a medium epic ranges from 101 to 200, and so on. To summarize, development methods, application type, and platform influence your choice of function unit. There's a wide array of function units you can choose from, and you can use multiple function units. Normalizing software size to a common base size unit allows you to compare past performance and sanity check estimates against your history or the QSM industry database. Click on the link in the description to learn more. Gearing factors capture the relative size and complexity of different function units and can easily be calculated from your completed project data by counting the number of epic stories and other function units and lines of code actually delivered. This is not just for agile methods. This approach works for requirements, data transformations, application interfaces, change requests, and more. In this video, we looked at several function units used to quantify size. We will continue to explore the many important uses of software size and how it's measured in future videos. I hope you'll join me for the next video, Sizing Through the Project Lifecycle. See you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content.